Hello, this little video is addressing creating cab stands in downtown West Palm Beach, and this is in conjunction with the mayor of West Palm Beach. Congratulations to her. She's joined a compact of over 100 mayors who are committing their cities to lowering carbon emissions and basically stopping or making pollution better. Okay, so we'll start now. Basically, we're over by the Tri-Rail here, talking about modernizing transportation systems, which is part of one of the things that the Compact of Mayors is looking at. Starting with the Tri-Rail, that would be part of the cab stands. And basically what we're looking at is abolishing the current licensing system for taxis and having West Palm just have a direct relationship with all the cab drivers who are county licensed to drive, where they could buy monthly parking placards. Let's say, I don't know, $100 a month parking placard for full-time, and maybe like $50 for the cabs that just want to come out on the weekends. And part of this is reducing the cabs driving around all night long on Clematis. It'll help the congestion down here, it'll help the carbon emissions, and it'll also actually really help the drivers save a little bit of gas money, because I know you hate us driving around all night long, and we really, honest to God, hate it too. So basically the Congo line is going to be moving to an outer perimeter, which is kind of like a Banyan, Flagler, Avernia, Gardenia, Rosemary type loop. Okay, starting, we're going to be making a right on Quadrille off of Banyan. If there was any way at nighttime to make a couple spots right here on the right in front of what is the bus stop now, that would be a great stopping place for cabs. Okay, we have the right turn arrow. Okay, the next place for the cab stands will be on Clematis, in between Quadrille and Dixie. And there's a great little spot here. 3 or 4 cab stands right here on the right. This is in front of like Chickpea and by the Ultimate Gym. And cabs would not be able to continue straight on Clematis. They'd have to turn right if these 3 cab stands or 4 cab stands were full. And the cab stands could easily be easily denoted with the little jackets they put over the meters. Like, I know sometimes they have police parking only or different things like that. They could just create jackets that say taxi stand that go over the meter, and that way during the day they could be regular just regular parking spots generating revenue for the city, and then at nighttime they can turn into cab stands when the need for cabs happens, which I guess is maybe later in the night, like 9-10 o'clock, something like that. Okay, the new outer Congo line continues down Dixie, and then it's going to turn right on Avernia, and this is to access the City Place cab stands. This is a good little way to turn too, because you have the Blind Monk over here on the left. So this is a really good place. And the Whitney too, the whole building. A nice place for cabs to be present driving past. Okay, the road I picked for the City Place proposed cab stands is Gardenia, because this is already just pretty much an access road to begin with, helping to reduce the congestion of cabs in the downtown City Place area. And I'm doing this very early. It's about 6:30 in the morning. And that way there's no traffic on the road while I'm doing this. Okay. 3 spots for the Clematis cab stand. There's Revolutions in front of us right here. On the left, I think there's 3 spots there in between Macy's and Revolutions. Great place for a cab stand for City Place. Also, the stairs to the Blue Martini and Movie Co. are to the left. It's just a really good ground zero for cabs. If those cab stands were full right there as a taxi, I would not be allowed to turn left for any reason. I'd have to turn right. And actually, the City Place cab stands, they can almost be open all day because there's people, you know, there's a lot of apartments here. There's Publix right here. There's a lot of people that need transportation pretty much kind of all day, all night over here. And I believe, what do they call this? The donut hole? I think the city of West Palm is planning on just making this more vibrant and lively down here. And also too, a major thing down here, in addition to the cab stands, would be to ban the cabs that are using a loophole and putting a second meter. It's only supposed to be 1 meter, the $2.64 a mile. Okay, the next cab stands would be here to the right, across the street from O'Shea's, next to Keese's. 2 or 3 spots there would be a cab stand. If those spots were not open, as a driver, I would not be allowed to turn right. Because the whole point of this thing is, number 1, getting cabs parked. So the emissions are stopping from us just needlessly driving around in circles. And but it's also to reduce the congestion on Rosemary and Clematis. Okay, so the outer Conger line continues down Banyan, which is just fantastic because there's a lot of parking areas here. And this is kind of like the last stand. Somebody's walking to their car. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. This is like their last chance to be like, you know what? I really need to get into a cab right now. This is really stupid me getting in my car. And in addition to the cab stand spots that I showed you, kind of like in front of like the Ultima Gin and Chickpea, there needs to be a spot down by off the hookah. That could be a spot where a public safety officer or a police officer, or actually I guess the cabs can monitor themselves, have one spot that is actually fed by the Ultima stand. That way you don't have cabs driving down that way, but when they see that the one spot by hookah is open, probably like in front of Jimmy John's would be good, that they can pull down and feed that stand. Okay, the outer perimeter conga line continuing. Olive's a one-way, so we can't turn that way. We're going to access the next stands via Narcissus. And there's a couple options here. One thing that would be really cool is to, at nighttime, past the parking garage, just turn this whole thing straight in front of me here into a cab stand and leave the left lane open just for emergency vehicles. So this would kind of be closed off in the evening time. If that's too much like restructuring and things, this could just be part of the outer perimeter conga line. And we'd have 2 spots here on the right in front of the theater, and the little bread place would be a cab stand. I would not be allowed to turn right as a taxi unless one of those 2 spots was open. And I would continue as a cab. I would have to turn left, you know, in front of Tin Fish and Pizza Girls. Good place to have a little flow of cabs too, because you have people popping out the back of Bradley's. Okay, and the next two cab stands would be on the right here, and that's kind of in front of Bradley's. If those two spots were open as a cab, I would not be allowed to turn right, and I would continue on the loop, which be making a right turn on Avernia. And then there's a high-rise here. Which one is it? The Strand or the Slade? I always get those two mixed up. I think this one is the Strand. And I get dyslexia over those two buildings. And that's basically it. It's creating a new perimeter conga line. It's basically totally getting rid of the taxi congestion on the roads. And totally supporting the mayor's initiative to cut carbon emissions. And it's just good stuff. DUI prevention, the whole nine. And I hope this all made sense. If not, I'm available 561 all time. My name is Jennifer, and I've been a cab driver in West Palm since 2007. Thank you very much.